Roxamore Sports Live here at the Indiana High School for another game of girls varsity basketball. Right now, the score is 4-4 here in the first quarter. I'm Maximilian Keeper, live with Roxamore Sports. Right now, it's an intense game. Defense has been keeping strong throughout this whole game thus far. First points were scored by Miley Young of Woodland Hills, and then a three-point shot by Julia Antonocci. And now we got a tied game, but defense is holding firm, and so far so good. You're looking at Atia Walker, Woodland Hills. Right now on the offense, outside the three-point arc. A good block in there by Lakin Kugler.
Miley Young enters the game, 15. Miley Young.
And Miley Young is back on the court here for Woodland Hills, as well as Emily Ferrer. Right now, Woodland Hills has the inbound. As the ball is over to Miley Young, over to Atia Walker, outside the arc. And blocked by Julia Antonocci. And Jalen Wilson lost the ball there, but Madison Adams got the rebound for Woodland Hills. So now we're looking at a score of 6-4. The Indiana Indians lose the offense. And now it's back to Woodland Hills for the offense. A good attempt there at a two-point basket by Miley Young. It's back in the hands of Emily Ferrero of Indiana. And she sends it off to Julia Antonocci. And right now, ball is making its way around the arc, but it's in the hands of Bella Antonocci. Bella goes for the shot, and it's in with a three-point basket. You're looking at a score of 7-6. Atia Walker on the offense sends it over to Hope Hopkins, who's inside the arc, now inside the paint, and try to hit the board. Send the ball into the net from the board, but it's a miss. Lakin Kugler over to Emily Ferreira. Off to Kugler, and off to Boyer. It's a miss, and it's Woodland Hills that gets the rebound, and almost had it there with Jalen Wilson. Miley Young tried to go for that rebound as well, but ref calls a foul on the Indiana Indians. You're looking at Miley Young, number 15 for Woodland Hills at the charity stripe, and shooting for two. And let's see what we got here. And she gets the first one in. Back to a tied game, 7-7. Shannon Collins is back in here for Hope Hopkins with the Hills. Miley going in for seconds here. And let's see what we got. And it's in. 2 baskets to her name, taking back the lead here by 1. 20 seconds to go here for the first quarter. 8-7. Atia Walker with throwing over to Jalen Wilson, challenged by Ferrero. Ferrero gives Jalen Wilson a bit of a challenge here, as well as the rest of the defense from Indiana, but it's a miss here. Ball stays with Indiana. Number 13, Bella Antonocci. Goes for that three-point attempt right before the buzzer. Buzzes. It's a miss. And the score right now is 8-7. Woodland Hills in the lead by 1. So far, so good. Satisfied with what I'm seeing. Strong defense on both sides. It's hard to penetrate through. But right now, Woodland Hills has a lead by 1. For a brief spell, though, the Indiana Indians did have that lead by 2. But they lost that lead to Miley Young with her 2 successful free throws. right now we're heading off into the second quarter here. So far, so good. Worth mentioning their records. Taking a quick little glance here. So, right now, looking at Indiana girls varsity basketball. They played a successful game back on January 8th against Franklin Regional and won 54-39. Woodland Hills won a successful game against Kiski back on Tuesday with a score of 56-46. Now, things are looking good for them here in the up and up. And of course, a night is different than any other night. So, we'll see how this game turns out, but so far, so good. It's looking like it's going to be a close game if they keep this momentum going on. Indiana has a record overall of 9-2. Conference record, 4-0. Game is back in action here for the second quarter. You're looking at Atia Walker over to Jalen Wilson. Good block in there by number 11. Of Indiana. Trying to get that roster back up here. Let me take a glance here. Number 11, Kugler. Miley Young over to Hope Hopkins. Back to Miley Young. Miley Young right in the arc. Gets it in with a two-point basket. Woodland Hills breaks into the double digits. 10-7. Addie Hutton. Off to Boyer. Back to Boyer from Hutton. Over to Julia Antonocci. She gets that two-point basket in there. A good shot. 1 point difference here on the score. Hope Hopkins appeared to have her eyes somewhere else with that pass. As it went right into the hands of Indiana. Right now, Indiana is on the offense. Outside the arc here. They're trying to break through the defense. Do they have an opening right now? It looks like they may with Kugler as she tries to go for that two-point attempt, but loses the ball to Hope Hopkins. Hopkins sends it over to Walker. Walker on the offense. And sees an opening with Hopkins. Over to Miley Young, and Miley Young almost had it in, but it was all air. Back in the hands of Indiana. Indiana on the offense here. Lakin Kugler. Sending it off to Cassandra Boyer. Julia Antonocci trying to go for that three-point attempt, but it was a miss. Jalen Wilson for Woodland Hills has the ball, sends it off to Atia Walker. Atia Walker goes for a two-point basket, but it's a miss. And back in the hands of Julia Antonocci. Off to Addie Hutton. Back to Cassandra Boyer. Back to Julia. In the hands of Shannon Collins, and back to Jalen Wilson for Woodland Hills, as Woodland Hills has a rebound and tries to go for a good, successful pass, but it was broken by Julia Antonocci as she gets that two-point basket with a good teardrop. 11-10. The Indiana Indians take back the lead by 1. Miley Young, inside the arc, sends the ball back outside to Tia Walker. Miley, back to Walker, over to Hopkins. Over to Walker, Young. And a good opening here for Hope Hopkins, if she could get it in with the teardrop. Defense holding firm though, as they take back the ball from Woodland Hills. And now, on the return with the offense, and beautifully done there with the three-point basket, Bella Antonocci, number 13. A good shot there. Indiana up by 4 now, as it's 14-10. Indiana in the lead. So far, so good. Overall, defense is still holding pretty strong here for Woodland Hills. Had some opportunities, but defense from Indiana was able to turn over that ball back to Woodland Hills. Now they do have that 4-point lead. It's looking good here for Indiana. Nothing too far to rest comfortably on right now in terms of a gap on the scoreboard. Not much of one, but we'll see. We'll see if they can keep it going further from Woodland Hills, or if Woodland Hills can take back a tie and maybe a lead. Time will tell. Break time's over. Back into the action. And here we go. Atia Walker sends the ball over to Jalen Wilson down on Woodland Hills side of the court. Wilson makes it past the half-court line and sends it over to Hope Hopkins. Hopkins back to Atia Walker. Walker tries to run into the paint. Didn't go as expected, as the ball is back in the hands of the Indiana Indians, as they are now on the rebound. And here we go. Indiana just outside the arc here. Addie Hutton and tries to send it off to Cassandra Boyer, but it's broken by Woodland Hills defense. Now it's Woodland Hills that has an opportunity to get a basket in here. Atia Walker over to Miley Young. Miley Young, gung-ho, runs it in, but it's a miss.
Fouls on. Fouls on 33. Boyer.
A foul was called on the Indiana Indians. You're looking at Miley Young, number 15 for Woodland Hills at the charity stripe. But there is a timeout yet again here. But it will be Miley Young that will be with the free throw here for Woodland Hills. And again, tomorrow we'll be hosting live from York, PA for the Hoops for Harmony tournament, starting at 4 p.m. and ending at, I believe, 9-ish. The last game, I believe, starts at 9 or 8. Don't hold me to it. Get a good look at that schedule, though. If you go to roxamoresports.com, look at the schedule tab for Hoops for Harmony. Multiple schools under one roof in York, PA. And the message is standing against racism. Again, that'll be at 4 p.m. till, I believe, about 9 o'clock, and that'll be from Friday to Sunday. Featuring boys and girls varsity basketball, Woodland Hills, as well as multiple other schools. So looking forward to seeing you there. I'll be hosting a few games. My man Damon hosting some. Perhaps CEO and executive producer Leon Roxamore. I know Mike Costa said he'll be hosting a few games as well. And of course, naturally as it goes, we'll have some guest hosts as well. So looking forward to seeing that game. Again, that's starting tomorrow. Hoops for Harmony. Check it out, roxamoresportslive.com, and they'll be hosted on all platforms. That being YouTube, Facebook, roxamoresports.com, Twitter, Apple TV, Amazon TV. Good hit there by Miley. She got that free basket in there. So now looking at 11 under 14. Miley going in here for seconds. And second one a miss. Hey, something's better than nothing. 11 under 14, a 3-point difference here. It's now in the hands of Indiana Indians. Julia Antonocci sends it off to a team along the arc, but now they have penetrated through. Back outside the arc it is, though. Julia sends it off to Bella Antonocci. Emily Ferrero, back to Bella, back to Julia. Over to Boyer. And Boyer attempts to get a shot at the basket there, but it's off the rim. Back in the hands of Woodland Hills. Atia Walker on the offense. Hands it off to Jalen Wilson. Jalen Wilson inside the arc. Goes for a 2-point basket, but it's a miss. Hope Hopkins has a chance at a rebound here, though. And it is also missed. Miley Young gets it in. And her accuracy has been impeccable here tonight. 13-14. Woodland Hills behind just by 1. Julia Antonocci. And sends it off to Emily Ferrero. Back to Julia, back to Ferrero. Over to Bella Antonocci. Back to Julia. Julia, back to Bella. Bella over to Ferrero. Back to Julia Ferrero. Back to Julia. I'm trying to see a window of opportunity here and how they're going to handle this ball, whether they're going to go for a three-point attempt. Right now, they don't have too many options for a three-point attempt here, judging by the way this defense looking from Woodland Hills. But they are gradually making their way into the three-point arc. Right now, that ball will be going to Indiana, as the foul has been called on Woodland Hills. Bella Antonocci sends the ball back in the court here. And Bella goes for a three-point attempt, and she gets it in. 17-13. Here we go. Atia Walker off to Miley Young. Ball is up for grabs here, and it's Indiana that takes the ball. A good chance at a two-point basket there by Emily Ferrero from Indiana, but it was a miss. And the cavalry couldn't arrive in time to the benefit of Woodland Hills, as Woodland Hills now has the ball. You're looking at Sophia. Oh, actually, I stand corrected. How could I be so stupid? That is Atia Walker. Right now, number 12 from Woodland Hills on the offense. And sending the ball off to Miley Young. Back to Walker, over to Hope Hopkins. Hope Hopkins goes for a two-point basket, and she gets it in.
That was Hope Hawkins.
15-17. Indiana back on the offense. Bella Antonocci. And sending the ball off to Julia Antonocci. And back to Bella Antonocci. Bella off to Ferrero. Off to Bella. And sends the ball inside the paint. Over the net it goes, though. And the foul is on Woodland Hills. Right now you're looking at number 33, Cassandra Boyer, at the free throw line. The foul was called on number 33. Actually, I take that back. It was called on Naya Estes. Or Estes, rather.
Wilson returns to Woodland Hills.
So the first one was a miss there by number 33, Cassandra Boyer, with a free throw. Second one, let's see what we got here. And it's it. 18-15. A three-point difference. Jalen Wilson on the offense and sends it off to Atia Walker. Off to Miley Young. Miley Young with almost a two-point basket. Jumped up a little bit, but was a bit too short. Here we go. Number 13, Bella Antonocci. 15 seconds on the clock here before this first half of the game ends. Right now, Bella off to Julia. Julia off to Hutton. And back to Antonocci. Bella Antonocci. It's a miss. Score remains 18-15. Indiana Indians in the lead by 3. And again, it's worth mentioning that the defense is looking great here, both schools right now. But right now, it is Indiana Indians with a lead. And there's a reason for that. Stay tuned with us here on Roxamore Sports Live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Trouble can find anyone. At Frank Walker Law, we take the time to understand your situation and work tirelessly on your behalf. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
Hey kid, let me tell you about the Soul Pit, and I want you to let everybody know about it. Soul Pit is what's happening in and around your city. Soul Pit is on the internet and around the globe. Soul Pit is on your block and in your car. Soul Pit is in your ear. It's in your hair. It's everywhere. Soul Pit is the latest news, hottest styles, culture, education, information, and more. It gets you ready for things to come. Hey kid, you know what the Soul Pit really is? It's a little something extra for your soul.
Hi, welcome to Fit for Boxing Club.
Here at Fit for Boxing, you'll find a fast, fun, and effective workout where you can burn up to 1,000 calories.
Come try a free class at Fit for Boxing, where beginners are always welcome. It's fun for the whole family, people of all ages. Old or young, it doesn't matter. In addition to our trainer-led workouts, we also offer private lessons, community fundraiser and team building events for local companies and more.
Hi, my name's Mario. I've been a member of Fit 4 Boxing for a little over a year now. If you need to get a good workout in, come to Fit 4 Boxing, and Rich and his staff will take care of each and every one of you.
Fit for Boxing Club is located in Hampton Township, just outside of the city of Pittsburgh on William Flynn Highway. Come learn how to box and have fun. Call Fit 4 Boxing Club at 412-213-3584 or visit our website at www.fit4boxingclub.com.
Let me help you with your vision, they losing their sight here. Time to send the world a message they might hear. Like Meek Mills, I'm making it quite clear. I'm chasing my dreams and fighting my nightmares. I'm going real hard, I'm talking words you understand, I'm talking real bars. I'm going everywhere, you know I'm talking real far. Yeah, it's time to raise a toast to this thing till I love the most. As I go from coast to coast, I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go and light a fuse and I set to let it blow. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, time to check my status and the GOAT is what it be. And you know I'm over 30, so my level is a G. And I may be from the hood, but I'm way beyond these streets. And my pockets hate a diet, so they always down to eat. Even though they screaming fame, and it's always spelling me. And I'll never hang it up till my mission is complete. And I'm looking at you haters, I suggest you take a seat. Cause it's all fun and games to a killer show his teeth. This is for them cats that be screaming homies. Claiming that you're real, but we know you're phony. Now I'm chilling with my sons, they my one and only. Like the Triller brothers, yeah, we screaming lions only. Step into this den, I welcome all who will dare. Never met a David, tell me whom shall I fear? Gotta rep the nation, black and gold is what I wear. If you look to your left, to your right, I'm everywhere. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide.
Roxamore Sports live here at the Indiana High School. That is Indiana, Pennsylvania behind you. Right now, it is a good game, a close game, 18-15. Indiana Indians in the lead over the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Although it's been a tight game throughout the first half, a few times Woodland Hills had taken the lead, and a few times Indiana had taken the lead. So right now, it seems like things are pretty evenly matched. I mean, defense so far so good, both sides. As I mentioned before, they're able to hold off the pressure. They're able to act within the paint when they're playing offensively, and they've been getting those rebounds. It's just a matter of getting the ball in the net, as it is naturally basketball. But right now, it is Indiana in the lead. 3-point baskets done by namely Julia Antonocci, and I want to take a look at the roster here. Not so good things, as you can tell by the way I put some of them. But essentially, to clear things up, the accuracy by Indiana Indians has been on point, as well as Woodland Hills, namely by Miley Young. I mean, she has been getting 3-point shots and took a few 2-point baskets in there. The free throws, she has been nailing so far, so good. Although there was one missed basket in the free throw by Miley Young, but nonetheless, her accuracy today is where it needs to be, for the most part. We are in the third quarter here. Right now, it is Woodland Hills on the offense. Miley Young over to Jalen Wilson. And again, tomorrow is the start of a 3-day course of varsity basketball. More on that later, though. Ball is in the hands of Woodland Hills. But again, tomorrow is the start of the Hoops for Harmony tournament. And that starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Lola Blakefield versus Kiski High School. And the game will be going all the way till 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. And then it will start again Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Then Sunday from 10 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. And again, that event will be multiple schools in York, PA, one roof. And the message is stand against racism. Year 3. Before that, for 4 years, it was stand against violence. Right now, Game is back in action here. You got Atia Walker. Throwing the ball over to Jalen Wilson. Atia Walker on the offense. And defense is ready for her. But let's see what strategy she has in mind right now. And eyes are on Shannon Collin. Back to Atia Walker. Over to Miley Young. Back to Atia Walker. Atia Walker blocked off by some tight defense there by Indiana. Jump ball is called there. And the ball goes to Indiana. So let's see what we got here. You're looking at number 13 from Indiana High School. That is Bella Antonocci. Over to Lakin Kugler. Bit of a collision there with Shannon Collins from Woodland Hills. The foul is on Woodland Hills. That sends Lakin Kugler to the free throw line. Let's see what she's got. And beautifully in there. 19 over 15. And going in for seconds. Lakin Kugler shoots and off the mark there. But in the hands of Indiana. Right now, you're looking at Bella Antonocci outside the arc, challenged by Jalen Wilson. She's now inside the paint. She goes for that two-point attempt. It tries to hit it off the board into the net, but no good. A jump ball is called. The ball will stay with Woodland Hills. Jalen Wilson off to Atia Walker. Atia Walker on the offense. Past the half-court line. Trying to direct the team on the court here for a better pass. And Shannon Collins. And Shannon tries to go for a two-point attempt. But it's a miss. Back in the hands of Indiana Indians. Right now you're looking at number 13, Bella Antonocci. Sending the ball off to number 22, Addie Hutton. Addie Hutton off to Julia Antonocci. Back to Bella Antonocci. And a good pass. Let's see if it's good. Two-point basket, and that it is. Number 33, Cassandra Boyer gets it in. 21 over 15 so far. Looking like a good gap in the scoreboard here right now by Indiana. Okay. So, all apologies on the Roxamore Sports Network about the scoreboard issue. We're having a little bit of problem with the Wi-Fi connection out here in Indiana Township. It's extremely diminished. Hopefully we'll get that back in order here for your convenience. But right now, the score is 21 over 15. Indiana Indians in the lead over Woodland Hills Wolverines. Right now, Julia Antonocci off to number 22. Hutton off to 33, Boyer. Ball still in the hands of Indiana. The passing is looking good here. And the ball goes to Indiana as the foul is on Woodland Hills. Foul was on Hawkins. You're looking at number 11 here, Lakin Kugler, back at the free throw line. And business as usual, she gets it in the net. A one-point basket, 22 over 15. We got Estes back here for Woodland Hills. And let's see what we got here. Ooh, all the rim into the hands of Estes, over to Miley Young, over to Atia Walker. So that last free throw by Kugler was a miss. You got Atia Walker over to Hope Hopkins. Hope Hopkins off to Young. Over to Wilson. Wilson inside the paint. Sends the ball back outside to Atia Walker. It's a miss with the three-point attempt, but Miley Young gets the rebound with a two-point basket. 17 under 22. Bella Antonocci. Now on the offense, sends it off to Julia Antonocci. And ball is taken by Atia Walker. Atia Walker on the offense gets it in with the 2-point basket. You're looking at 19 under 22. So good steal there by Walker. And closing up that gap just a little bit more. And when you look at that, we got the scoreboard working, guys. It's a miracle. All right, right now, you're looking at the Indiana Indians outside Woodland Hills Arc. Offense, well, it's looking good. They're putting the pressure on the defense. Defense looks like they're ready for this. Maybe there's a little bit of a weakening there in the defense, but perhaps not. Miley Young reach for that ball and try to get that ball. It's going to be a jump ball for Indiana. But we do have a timeout here. And so far, so good for Woodland Hills, it looks like, as they're getting closer to a tied game. A 3-point basket, getting tied this game. Right now, 19 under 22, Indiana Indians, led by a wide margin, 7 points. But the scoreboard's closing up a little bit here. Again, you do not want that gap to go any further. Otherwise, it's going to be an uphill battle. If it goes, say, 10, 12 points, yeah, I mean, you can kind of close it up at the last second, but at some point, it becomes impractical and improbable. So, right now, Woodland Hills looking great. Indiana Indians, just as well. Also, shout out to one of the cellists from the Indiana Indians. They, let's see if I got the name here correct. I believe I did see it. That is Claire Stewart, number 2, playing here on the court for the Indiana Indians. Did a fantastic job playing the national anthem on the cello. And anybody familiar with music, that is not an easy instrument at all. So she did phenomenal. I'd be surprised if she didn't have a music scholarship in line for her. Very surprised. Right now, game is back in action. And here we go. Indiana Indians back in. Oh, a deep pass. Not what is expected from her, though. But nonetheless, Indiana regains the ball here. Is on the offense. Julia Antonocci off to Bella Antonocci. Over to Hutton and back to Julia. Oh, and taken by Miley Young. Atia Walker on the offense. And sends it off to Wilson. Wilson inside the paint. Goes to Estes. Estes gets it in. A 2-point basket. And it's now back to a 1-point game. Woodland Hills behind by 1. Indiana has to secure the position on the scoreboard. The momentum was looking good by Indiana so far. And right now, they are still just as amped as they were before. They're not going to let down. And surely Woodland Hills knows this. Right now, they're weakening the wall here, like the Battle of Jericho, and right now, so far, so good by Woodland Hills, as that wall is looking firm, and not a lot of opportunity here for Indiana. So great work here by Woodland Hills, as the pressure is not wearing Woodland Hills thin. Give it some time, though, and send it off to Stossel. And Antonocci attempted to get a 2-point basket. It was a miss. It's now back in the hands of Woodland Hills. Atia Walker. And sends it over to Hope Hopkins. Hope Hopkins sends it into the net with a 2-point basket. Woodland Hills now takes the lead by 1. 23-22. We got another timeout here. Woo-wee. Man, what do you know? Woodland Hills was down by 7, but they took back that lead. By 1, it's not really much of a bragging right, but it's looking good here so far. But so far, so good. Defense holding strong. Woodland Hills, Indiana's offense is really stepping up here. Again, that could be the cause for why they had such a significant gap in score as they had the lead over Woodland Hills. The defense has managed to turn that ball around for the rebound. And some key players on the roster right now for Woodland Hills. It's looking great. Got Miley Young, been accurate all night. Hope Hopkins, living up to her name, delivering the hope. And she's able to get that ball in the net. Jalen Wilson, Atia Walker, and Estes. Of course, there's some other Woodland Hills legends on the court as well. We got Shannon Collins, who we saw play against Kiski back on Tuesday, and she was able to get those three-point shots in there and land it smoothly and beautifully. Woodland Hills right now, not Woodland Hills, but Indiana, some key assets on their team. You're looking at Antonocci, and that is Julia Antonocci and Bella Antonocci, as they have accumulated a number of points here for Indiana, as well as Cassandra Boyd. Right now, the score is 23-22, 24 seconds on the clock here before the third quarter is over. After a close game, it looks like, and it looks like it might continue to be that way, heading off into the fourth quarter, but we shall see. Right now, the play is not getting sloppy, though. What I'm really liking is they're keeping themselves balanced here. Woodland Hills and Indiana, when it comes to the defense, they know the offense is going to come in strong, but they're not really making too many risky blocking decisions here. Doing their best to keep their hands off the opponents, and so far so good. We haven't seen too many free throws as we have with previous games, which of course naturally can eat away at the scoreboard. But right now that is looking pretty good there, but it's a miss. Julia Antonocci tried to go for that three-point basket. She's pretty good with those for the most part, except for that one under pressure, perhaps. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt. It was just off the mark by a tad. Nonetheless, we're heading off into the last quarter here. 8 minutes ago on the clock. After a little bit of a huddle discussion. But right now, Woodland Hills up by 1 in the lead. 23-22. We'll see how long that can last. Indiana looking good here. Again, they have a strong record. If you head over to the old Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, look under the varsity basketball for high school. You can check out boys and girls standings for not just Woodland Hills, but for multiple schools as well, including Indiana. And for those of you watching for Indiana, thank you for joining us here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Looking forward to seeing more action from your school as well as other schools, as we cover not just Woodland Hills, but multiple schools all across Allegheny and sometimes beyond that. Again, coming up on tomorrow at 4 o'clock, starting at 4 o'clock, is the start of our 3-day event. That is boys and girls varsity basketball, high school, multiple schools, one roof, all across Pennsylvania. And I believe some from Maryland, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But that will be the Hoops for Harmony tournament starting tomorrow. So be sure to check out RoxamoreSports.com to get a good look at that information under the schedule tab to see who's playing against who. I know Woodland Hills is in the Hoops for Harmony. I don't know about Indiana. They're going to look at the schedule here real fast before the game kicks back in action. I so far do not see Indiana playing for the Hoops for Harmony tournament. But Woodland Hills is. But of course I'm not wearing my glasses, so don't take my word for it. Check out roxamoresports.com for yourself. Again, that is Hoops for Harmony. Starts again 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Going from Friday, Saturday to Sunday.
Fouls on.
So we got a foul on Woodland Hills now.
Fouls on Hawkins.
And a foul is on Hope Hopkins. You're looking at number 11 here on the charity stripe, free throw line, however you fancy it. Right now, let's see what we got here. You're looking at number 11, Lakin Kugler, with a beautiful free throw basket, tying up the game 23 and 23. And will she take the lead here for her team? Let's see what we got. Oh, and that she does. 24-23. Good look. Lakin Kugler. Miley Young off to Atia Walker. Atia Walker trying to get away into the arc. And the foul is called on 3. Emily Ferrero. Atia Walker off to Wilson. Wilson on the offense. Challenged by Ferrero. And right now, outside the arc, almost lost the ball there in a dribble, but off to Shannon Collins. Collins off to Walker and Hope Hopkins with the 2-point basket.
Fouls on.
And the foul is on as well. Woodland Hills with the lead right now of 25-24. Hope Hopkins at the free throw line. And beautifully in. One basket in. Game back in action. Number 13, Bella Antonocci in action here. Emily Ferrero off to Julia. Julia back to Ferrero. Back to Julia. Over to Bella. And right now, Kugler back to Ferrero. And Bella, number 13, outside the arc, sends it over to Julia. Back to Bella, inside the paint. Defense is ganging up on her right now, but ball is still in the hands of Indiana. Julia gets that 2-point basket in the net. 26 and 26. 6 minutes to go here on the clock. Woodland Hills on the offense. Miley Young with a 2-drop in the basket. 2 points to Woodland Hills. Gets them 28-26. Indiana on the offense, looking good here so far. Defense holding out the pressure for now. Ferrero suggests herself on the paint, but it goes to the hands of Bella Antonocci. As she gets that 2-point basket in there, 28-28, back to a tied game here in the last quarter, 5 minutes and 28 seconds to go. A little bit of a timeout going on right now, but it's been close throughout this whole match, this whole night. I mean, it's just fabulous work. Defense is looking great. I mean, obviously, right now, coaches are, I'm not exactly too sure. Judging from the tone of voice I'm hearing right now from both sides, as I'm above them, how satisfied they are with the performance. But nonetheless, it is a good game. 28-28. As an observer, I gotta say, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Defense has been looking great. Offense has been looking great. Both sides. Again, you got the Antonocci. I'm guessing the sisters or cousins. I'm guessing they're related. But got their chemistry going on right now here on the court for Indiana Indians, as well as a few others. Keep it in my roster way. Not so good on names, but number 13, Bella Antonocci, and number 1, Julia Antonocci, really been standing out here. But of course, we had some good action here from Emily Ferrero, Lakin Kugler, especially Kugler when it came to the free throws, as she was accurate for the most part. But now we are back in action here as Woodland Hills is on the offense outside the arc. You're looking at a Tia Walker sending the ball over to Shannon Collins. And the ball goes right in the hands of Bella. And now Julia. Julia with a three-point basket. Beautiful work. 31 over 28. Indiana back in the lead. Wilson studying the court here. Sends it off to Shannon Collins. Shannon goes in for a two-point basket, but it's a miss. Back in the hands of Indiana. Bella on the offense. Off to Julia. Off to Boyer. And Julia with a attempt at a three-point basket. But the ball will stay with Indiana as the foul is on Woodland Hills. And would you look at that, Lakin Kugler back at the free throw line. Again, this has been her bread and butter here this evening, as she's been pretty accurate with these free throws for the most part this evening. And just like that, gets it in. First basket. We got Hope Hopkins back here for Woodland Hills, placing Miley Young. Kulu going in for a second shot here, and oh, there we have it. Two baskets in. You're looking at a score of 33 over 28 right now. 4 minutes and 28 seconds to go on the clock before this game is over. Woodland Hills, they got the capability to make something of this game at the last second, or at the last 4 minutes, really. But Indiana, right now, they're motivated. They held a gap over Woodland Hills before. They can do it again, and that's looking like what they're aiming to do as time goes on. Woodland Hills defense not waning here. So far, keeping just as strong as they usually do. Shannon Collins gets the ball back here for Woodland Hills. Hope Hopkins over to Tia Walker. It's now Woodland Hills back on the offense. Jalen Wilson goes in for a three-point shot. Now it's in the hands of Shannon Collins. She sends it back to Jalen Wilson. Tia Walker gets the ball instead, though. And Tia Walker outside the arc sends it off to Collins. Collins off to Estes. And Wilson goes for that three-point shot. And, ooh, it's a miss. Traveling is caught on Woodland Hills. And we got another timeout. So we got a quick little timeout here. And back for Woodland Hills, we got Miley Young. 3 minutes and 16 seconds ago, 33 for 28. Close game still. Anything can happen within this next 3 minutes. Woodland Hills can get a few fouls in, and, you know, a few fouls against Indiana, that is. To prove very fruitful for them. And if the opposite happens for Indiana, well, obviously, that puts them in a better position, as they right now have a gap. It's not a significant gap. It's nothing to brag about. But right now, it's looking pretty good. If you can get improvement from Woodland Hills, all the better. Right now, again, it's been a close game. Here so far, back and forth, tied in the last quarter that we saw. That being the third quarter and fourth quarter. It's been, for the most part, pretty close to being a tie, and a few times a tie for quite a while. But right now, Indiana zooms back to their gap on the score. And again, as always, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Indiana doing a great job. Woodland Hills just as well. And naturally, we're looking forward to seeing more action from these schools in the future. Be it girls or boys. Bella tries to go in for that two-point basket, but fortunately for Indiana, Right now they have a shot at the free throw line. Let's see what we got here. Looking at Bella Antonocci with a three-point basket inside. Three-point basket. You hear me stumbling over here? One-point basket, free throw. Second time, gets it in. 35 over 28. Woo! A 7-point gap yet again. 3 minutes ago, Jalen Wilson on the offense and sends it off to Atia Walker. They can get an opening here. It might be just what the doctor ordered here for Woodland Hills. Wrong prescription, as it's now in the hands of Indiana. Back in the hands of Bella Antonocci, namely. Off to Julia. Over to Hutton. Hutton right now, challenged by Walker. And hands it back to Bella. Bella challenged by Wilson. Wilson gets back the ball. She has an open opportunity here with the two-point basket. She gets it in. 30 under 35. A 5-point game here. 2 minutes and 13 seconds ago on the clock. Let's see. We got a 30-second timeout here. Woodland Hills. 2 minutes and 13 seconds. We've seen crazier things before in terms of who takes the lead at the last second of a game, especially when it comes to the very last 20 seconds of a game. And you get that foul, pitch you at the charity stripe, and if you get 2 baskets in, it can make all the difference in the world. If it's Indiana, they can secure the position on the scoreboard. Woodland Hills might be able to tie things up for the buzzer for the last quarter, or buzzes, and a possibility they might win by 1. We shall see. And again, for those of you leaving just now, show's not over till 2 minutes and 13 seconds, provided we don't go into overtime. But if anyone's leaving just now, again, Woodland Hills will be playing for the Hoops for Harmony tournament. So be sure to check that out. That starts tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, that won't be Woodland Hills playing at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So take a look at that schedule tab under the schedule tab. I'm stumbling over my words here, but at RoxamoreSports.com, you can see what school is playing against who and at what time. Again, that starts Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and goes from Friday to Saturday to Sunday. And of course, sports commentary will be brought to you by Roxamore Sports' very own commentators, such as me, Maximilian, Kiefer, and Demond, Michael Costa, and Leon Rocky, as well as a few guest commentators as well. So looking forward to seeing you there. And right now, we got 1 minute and 15 seconds to make something here happen. Indiana looking like they may have secured the position on the board here. A little bit, perhaps too soon to tell, but a 7-point gap with 1 minute exactly to go here. Jalen Wilson goes for that 3-point attempt. It's almost in, but it's off the mark. Indiana right now has the ball. Just a wild assumption. They might try to eat away the clock here. But right now, they're definitely looking like they have secured their position on the board here. Squared away for a victory here tonight for Indiana, as they are now at the charity stripe with a free throw. Number 13, Bella Antonocci gets that first basket in there. second one is in gracefully. 39-30. 49 seconds to go here. Game's not over till it's over. Woodland Hills wants to go out with a bang. Let's see how they do. Hope Hopkins. Oh! A foul is on Indiana. This might be something that puts them in a little bit more of a promising position. Don't hold your fingers. We'll see that. Looking at Hope Hopkins, a sharpshooter here for Woodland Hills. Overall, great athlete, great student, and great person from what I hear. So right now, the foul is on Stossel. Hope Hopkins at the free throw line. And right now, we have another timeout here. Coach Von Pitts has a few other tricks up his sleeve. But so far, it's been a great game throughout this whole night. 30-39, Woodland Hills had the lead quite a few times in this game, but Indiana right now looking like they are in a comfortable position. As there's only 40 seconds on the clock here. We'll see. So far, so good. Indiana looking great, Woodland Hills, again, their defense was amazing. Accuracy, beautiful. Miley Young has absolutely been on the money today with her shots, as per usual. And of course, Jalen Wilson, Tia Walker, and that's just naming a few. Indiana, of course, and the Antonocci, I guess sisters or cousins, the Antonoccis. Great shots overall from them. Right now, we're in action. Hope Hopkins at the free throw line. Let's see what we got. And she gets that one in. And she's now looking at a score of 31-39. Let's see what we have. Not what she needed. As that second one ran all around the rim and out. One basket, one miss. And now, it's time to turn the tables here, as it's Indiana at the charity stripe. And it's it. Number 13, Bella Antonocci. Breaking her team into 40-31. And let's see what we got here. It's in. 41-31. A 10-point game. 40 seconds to go here. It would take one heck of a performance to flip this game around here for Woodland Hills. It looks like Indiana may have taken the victory here this evening. And even more so, as it's Antonocci back at the charity stripe. Let's see what we got here. And beautifully in. Her accuracy has just been on par today. And of course, we got Lakin Cooper, as she, again, at the charity stripe, was very accurate with her shots, which proved very beneficial for Indiana. Right now you're looking at a score of 43-31. 29 seconds to go on the clock. Game's not over till it's over. Woodland Hills knows how to go out with a bang. Something you absolutely have to love here. Indiana right now trying to amass as much points as possible on the board here. It looks good for the record. Right now you got Julia Antonocci, challenged by Jalen Wilson. 9 seconds. Tia Walker against Bella, and one more second, and bada bing. That is it for this evening. Close game, So close. But it ended with a gap like that. A 12-point gap, 43-31. Indiana Indians took the lead and took the victory here this evening. Magnificent work there. Woodland Hills and Indiana. Of course, it's not over. The season's young, so be sure to head over to roxamoresports.com. Get a look at that schedule tab to see when your school is playing next. And again, too, Roxamore Sports Live. Max Millenkeeper here, alongside with CEO, Executive Producer Leon Roxamore. Away from the microphone, but we'll see more action from you guys. Again, check us out tomorrow, starting 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's 4 p.m., rather, for Hoops to Harmony, Stand Against Racism. Again, that starts Friday, ends on Sunday. Check us out, roxamoresports.com. Get a good look at that schedule tab, see when your school's playing and it against you. All right. All rights are reserved to our CEO and executive. Excuse me. CEO and executive producer Leon Roxamore. Any use of copyright footage must have written consent in order to use it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night.